All right, welcome back to the Morning Update Show. Joined now by Ricardo Frazer, a board member here of Seattle Theater Group, and so much more, and an impactful career in music here in the city of Seattle and beyond. Welcome to the Morning Update Show.
Thanks, man. It's a pleasure to be here with you. Wait, my guy.
I gotta be honest with you. Like I was said here when Ike was up, we knew that this day was coming. That was be his last day as an intern. We didn't know we were going to be here at the Paramount. And when we were talking, putting this show together, I didn't know that you were going to be a guest. And if the audience here will indulge me, I know that we're supposed to talk about the STG board and everything else. And we'll hit on that. But something very interesting is going on right now. And when I was looking last night at the show and putting everything together, I thought about something that I want to share with everybody. That it was 20 years ago. And man, I was just graduating college. My daughter, Acacia, was 3 years old. And I just knew I wanted to be a writer. And Ricardo Frazer, 20 years ago, they had a platform called hardroad.com, the best music you never heard. And like a lot of things back then, the ideas exceeded the technology. Now there's so much technology, it exceeds the ideas. Right. But I was in Elizabeth City, North Carolina, and just graduating. And I loved writing so much. And Ricardo up in Seattle, and I had never met him before, but somebody had told him about me. And they hired me as a writer, and I would drive sometimes 100 miles, 200 miles of backwood country dewdrop. I don't know where you guys found these bars and saloons, and I would interview bands.
Yeah, you would.
20 years ago, and I'd get on the road and like I said, in North Carolina and South Carolina and Virginia, and drive throughout the night and get there, and I'd interview a band and I'd record them and I would write all about it, and it would come back here to Seattle and they would publish it on hardroad.com. And when I was sitting there last night putting this whole show together, and I thought about that, and I thought about, man, the seed that you probably forgot all about, the seed that you planted, the act of kindness. And I want you to know it was never wasted on me. And that's why even right here, you see, these are all young people, Ricardo.
See.
These are all young people that are sitting here that run this whole operation. I never forgot getting out there out of college, and I just wanted to write. I just wanted to do something. And you're a witness. The other thing is, I'm sorry to get emotional, but I sit here in the city where people think that Omari just popped up with a red iPhone. No. They don't understand 20 years ago. I used to drive hundreds of miles, just to write just 400 words because it was going to get published.
Right.
And what people see right now at Converge is decades. And I just want to thank you for the seed that you planted. We've also got another gardener in the audience here, Barbara Nielsen, my elementary school teacher. Over there, put your hand up. Planted a seed 40 years ago when I was in elementary school, and a seed that continues to blossom and bloom. I know we're supposed to sit here and talk about the STG board, but I would be remiss, Ricardo Frazer, not to mention in front of everybody the impact that you had on me decades ago when I just needed a chance, just somebody to believe in my capabilities, and sight unseen, you gave me an opportunity. Thank you.
Man, look. Oh, I just want to say, man, that I am so proud of you, bro. I told you when we were standing over there, I said, when I saw the work you were doing with Converge, I just popped in my social one day and you popped up. And I was like, oh, damn, that's Omari. Oh, yeah, he's doing his thing. Man, you've had the passion, right? You've had the passion, man. You knew what you wanted to do. You knew what you wanted to do. You had the passion, and you were not afraid to do the work. I think that's the really important thing. A lot of folks think they know what they want to do, or they expect it to be given to them, man. When we sent you out to North Carolina, South Carolina, Mississippi, you didn't hesitate, bro. You were like, yo, I'm there. You got in your car, you drove, you got the interview, man. You did the work, you stayed up late at night, you sent it back. So when people see you here now, right, they don't understand the commitment that it's taken, right? They don't understand the groundwork that you did to get to this point. I do though, right? Because I was there with you, man. And I can't be more proud of anyone in my life, man, than I am of you, bro. You've done an amazing, amazing job. And I know you'll continue to do that. And the beautiful thing about what you're doing, man, is that you're giving back to young people as well, right?
Man, I learned, I think I like to tell people it's like it's negative things that happen in my life, and I have a hard time remembering them, which is good. But an act of kindness, I have the memory of an elephant, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's the acts of kindness that I always remember. And this is I haven't talked to you in years.
It's been
Maybe I
years.
saw you in passing. Here's a hug and everything else. But I just want you to know that these things, and somebody like you, this is, like I said, this was 20 years ago. And a lot of times we think in our community, oh, well, people haven't been there and doing this. People like you have always been behind the scenes working. And I'm sure I'm just one story of many. But man, I'll never forget. I mean, people thought I was crazy because I had a degree in geology. I was a geologist. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? A minor in
right.
environmental science. I had a job lined up, a good state job. I'd be getting ready to get my pension now. But I wanted to be a writer, and I wanted to be in radio. And people were like, "Man, it's North Carolina. You got a good job down here, man. Go to geology lab, everything." I said, "No, man, this media is my passion." And a lot of people thought I was crazy then. And I was just, it was a struggling young family and everything else. And there's so many friends that I have that they weren't able to pursue their passion or their dream and everything else. And man, I'm just thankful. I'm so thankful. And just know, like I said, man, just know, man, the kindness wasn't wasted on me. We get so much with these young people. Ike Everhard to tell you, Ike joined us. Ike sent an email.
Mhm.
And that's what I tell some of these young people watching, take a chance on yourself. Ike emailed us from Arizona State and was like, "Hey man, this is what I can do." I'm like, "Oh word?
Mhm.
Come do it."
Come do it, right?
You
Right.
know, I'm just thankful, and I've spent a lot of our time talking about our experience here. And I know we're supposed to talk about the STG board, but I could say that if you're representative of the makeup of that board, then I think we're in good hands.
I thank you, man. I agree. The board is incredible. Um, there are a lot of like-minded people on the board. And what's interesting, man, my story is a little similar, right? Because I was at Evergreen State College. I think I was a sophomore, and I knew I wanted to be in the business, right? But I didn't know how. And there's a woman, Dr. Joy Hardiman, who lived in this building, and she was a director and a professor at Evergreen. And she said, "Hey, I just had a kid. Come and be my nanny." I'm like, "Sure." Right. So I roll up to Seattle, right? I'm in this building, and then I see all this activity in the theater. And I said, "Hey, can I work in the theater?
Make a little clip.
Can I work in the theater?" And they're like, "Yeah, you can be on the cleanup crew." Right. I'm like, "Sure." Right. The cleanup crew. That's where, after the shows, you pick up garbage in the theater, you mop, you sweep, and so on and so forth. Right. And for me, it was like, great. Right. I got to be around the arts. I got to be in the theater. It didn't matter that I was cleaning up the place. And my worst part of the cleaning up the theater, when you're the low man on the totem pole, you get the worst job. So someone had defecated in the alley back there, and they're like, Ricardo, right? It's my turn to go and clean, man. But I went out there, man. I hosed that down. I cleaned it, man. I came back, and I was proud of my work. And then that led to meeting with Norman Ulysses. Next thing you know, I'm upstairs. I'm doing bookings and so on and so forth. So the idea that you followed your passion, right, and the universe, God opened the way for you to be here today, is really important. Same thing with Ike, right? I mean, he's following his passion. Louisiana, right?
Mhm.
To Seattle.
Who, me?
No, Ike.
Arizona
To Seattle.
State.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And now he's going back. I mean, you follow your passion. And when you follow your passion, beautiful things and good things happen. The universe opens a way for you, man. But again, you have to do the work. And that's the thing about you. You've done the work. right?
Man, I appreciate it, and it's like I said, it's man, it's real humbling to be able to spend this time with you here on this. I mean, imagine I wouldn't have thought 20 years ago that I'd be interviewing you on my show in the Paramount.
Mm-hmm.
You know, where it was just I was writing to eat. You know what I'm saying? Luckily, food is cheap down south.
Right, right. But hey, you also took off. You went to Africa, right? I mean, there was a
Yeah.
time when I'm like, Where's Omari at?" They're like, "He's in Africa. He's doing radio."
Then
I'm like, "That's my guy."
it all. I mean, you can imagine. People are always like, "Man, were you scared to go to over to East Africa and get into media?" I said, "No, I was scared driving through the South at night, right for Hard Road." But man, like I said, I just want to absolutely thank you, and and tell you, and I think it's important that people know that story. That, like I said, 20 years ago. 20 years ago, you were like, "Yo, you can do this,"
Mhm.
and I literally hit the hard road and wrote a lot of stories and covered a lot of the best music that people never heard, and I'm gonna continue to pay it forward. I mean, the best thing I could ever do to honor you and so many other people that have poured into me
Mhm.
and poured into Converge is to pay it forward and pay it forward with opening these doors with young people.
That's what's up, man. And to bring it back to STG, Seattle Theater Group. That's what we do as well. I mean, we invest in the community. We know that this community is what allows us to thrive. People are familiar with the Broadway shows that we do, with the concerts that we do, but those things fund the things that are fundamental to STG, and those are the education and community programs. We work with Melba will be here, Northwest Tap. We do Dance for Parkinson's. We've got a series, More Music at the More. We bring in national acts that work with young people. We've got a songwriters lab. I could go on and on. So the for-profit events that we do really funds the things that are really fundamental. That is a part of the essence of what we do at STG, and that's really giving back to this community that gives so much to us.
Like I said, Ricardo, you on the board. I know the board's in good hands.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you for joining us on the Morning
Hey,
Update Show.
my pleasure, man. And congratulations and keep up the good work, man. We'll keep following you and keep jumping up and down every time I see you do something.